Hey there, hi there, ho there. Hope everybody's okay. Special shout out to my buddy Bruce. He's under the weather in a big old way, so sending good vibes and prayers out to him. He's taking care of everybody else now. He needs to be taken care of. So get well soon. Be safe. Do your best to ride that out. Man, quite a thing. Um, as you guys can see, once again, it is 11 by 15 inch watercolor paper, double glued, and this has been done like last week sometime. All right, and it's a stipple background, black and white. You know how I usually do it. I've got videos on how to make backgrounds or whatever. Okay, I think I did enough florals and mountains and birds and stuff. So let's do something, because I got a crop of new people watching, and they see me do certain things, of course, but they never see me do um, of a real human being type fellow, even though this is an actor playing a role. All right, and it's a role that, and it's a yeah, it's a role that nobody really knows this superhero. Okay, um, he's from the newest Black Panther movie. I have not seen the movie, but they got enough still images of this individual. I do know of the superhero because I'm a geek and a comic book enthusiast. At least I used to be. But I am very familiar with the character, Prince Namor, the Submariner. He's Marvel Comics' version of the King of Atlantis, but they changed the name of Atlantis for the movie because they didn't want to compete or whatever with DC's version, blah, 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 that type of thing. So he's actually been around before Captain America was created. He's been in the comics for quite a while. All right. Okay. Anyway, they changed the character for the movie. They made him Mesoamerican. He's in probably Aztec or something like that, which would make sense. DC made what the hell is his name? Aquaman. He made him Samoan. Okay. And once again, it would kind of make sense that he would be that ethnicity. Okay, and like I say, this one here is Mesoamerican. He's actually, the actor is Mexican, so and he's a mutant, hence the pointed ears and such. As you see down there, that's what he looks like. All right, he doesn't look like that in the comics. They did make it more authentic to what they were trying to capture for the movie. Okay, and it's not a bad look for him, actually. They kept his physical look pretty good, other than the fact that he's really not as the human being is not really as buff and cut as the comic character, but they said he did a very good job in the role. I'll see it when it comes out to DVD or Blu-ray or something. I'll go buy it. Okay, the version you see here, down here, is elongated. All right. I do have another version of another picture of him that I cropped that would more or less fit this paper. And half the spear is gone. Okay. And so what I'm going to do, because this is definitely a teaching moment for people who are a little intimidated doing faces and such, I got to do this in a different way. Usually I would sketch out the figure and mask him, but I'm not going to do that for this. Hey, Rosemary, how are you? And you're gonna see the picture like kind of flip around and whatnot. That's just the setting that I have on this video and picture reader. Okay. Usually I would have, when I do photographs, I usually get a bunch of them. It's usually for a funeral or whatever, and you know how they have a bunch of funeral pictures of the deceased. And so I have them flipping around and whatever, give it a few seconds and it'll change. So it's the same thing, but just with one photograph. Okay, so that's the movement you see on that program. I didn't set it for a still picture. Okay, and once again, I got it over here on the tablet. I'm looking right at it. But how should I start this off? Well, you see what he looks like. All right. Now, to approach a portrait, Of the few different ways, I'm going to do it this way. I haven't done portraits in quite some time. I used to do them a lot in the beginning. And just like anything in life, if you don't do it much, you kind of lose that skill for doing it. My only advantage is I used to be a comic artist, so I used to draw human figures all the time. But I want to do this one for people who don't do it or used to do it all the time. You know, human figures of any sort is pretty intimidating. Okay, but you would approach this just like you would approach any other subject. You start with the shapes and then you go slowly into the details. But since we're going to paint this individual, you still would approach it pretty much the same way. You don't have to worry about the background. The background's already there, and that's all it is. It's just, you know, just the background. All right. What I'm going to do now, I did use glycerin on this, and obviously it being acrylic, okay, chalk and lead is hard to really sketch on this because it's like you're trying to sketch on wax, okay, and really if we acrylic paint, you're painting on liquid rubber anyway, so we all know how hard it is to write on that. Okay, all right. I would use a chalk pencil. I thought I had a white stick that would write on this somewhat. We'll see. No, like I say, essentially it's like trying to sketch on wax. Nah. So if you run into an issue like that, because once again I'm painting on top of what I've already painted, you're gonna have to do a sketch with the paint. Okay, talk about a bravery test. That is your bravery test. I'm gonna take a small. I'll show it to you down here. We'll take a small little wedge here brush. Okay, it's a 1/4 inch brush, and I'll just let me show you this here on the lower right. Yes, I got so many of these easels and trays and all sorts of stuff. This is actually for watercolor, but we're going to use it for the acrylic here. And if I don't use it all, it's going to be a two-parter. I know it is, depending on how I feel, how much time goes by. All right. We got this deep dark blue, green. We got this raw umber brown, cad orange, yellow ochre, titanium white. All right. I do believe I got the colors that's probably necessary for me to do the whole painting. And if I don't, I know I won't use all of this. I'll just cover it with plastic, spray it, cover it with plastic, and then, you know, wait for the next time to do it. All right. So what we'll do is I'll take a little bit of white. I'll just put it over here and get some water. All right. I'm not going to want to hear that all day. We'll put up with it a little bit. Now, when I sketch out his spear, okay, now you guys are looking at the whole spear. My photograph, I'm looking at half of the thing. I'm going to judge the distance and judge his proportions and such by the spear, as long as I can just get the head of the spear right. Okay, and I'm actually looking at it in relation to what I see on the tablet as far as spacing. Okay, so if I screw up, you know, I just really have to correct it. So I will do it in relation to where I feel it's going to be. And I'm just going to do a representation of the spear. It will look closely like the thing when I'm done anyway. But right now, like I said, I'm just sketching this guy out here. A lot of this will be covered over, obviously, in color. So if you do make a mistake, you can just easily cover it up. Now, the way I sketch, even though I really should do it in generalities, I tend not to. I'm looking at the details, the whole 9 yards. Okay. Now, you guys should pretty much see most of that. And for you guys, I'll brighten up certain areas to where it is really bright. But I'm going to block a lot of this in anyway. But I'll do it strong enough to where you guys can see it a little bit here. If you got any questions, any comments, you know, I'll holler them out. Now, the reason why I'm really pretty much concentrating on this spear like this is because I'm going to base the character's skull and its positioning with this spear. So you're essentially doing a bunch of guidelines. He don't have that. It just comes out and goes down. All right. So I'm going to base my proportions area because his head is around in this area, then his neck, then his shoulder. Part of his shoulder is obscured by the spear, which is cool. All right. But everything starts off in generalities first. All right. Now that I've sketched out his spear, I'm going to color this in. Okay, I'm going to just block in the colors. All right. And as long as I have the general shape of yonder spear, at least the spear tip, I can work out everything else. So, good to see you, Rosemary. His spear is this weird bronzy color, but once again, I'm just going to block it out. I did not ask if you guys can hear me. I'm pretty sure you can. This, I'll just get it pretty dark first, and we'll work from there. So I'll come over here in this brown. I'll put the brown right here. I'm gonna get a little touch of blue. I gotta be careful because this brown has green in it. No, we're not gonna listen to that all day. We're not gonna listen to that. Hold on, guys. I'm not gonna want to listen to it. All that clacking around. I thought I sealed it pretty good. I guess I didn't. I'll just take a little bit of tape and place it somewhere just to get it not to keep doing that clacking crap. Let's try that. Let's place it somewhere you guys can see it. I don't want to hear it go clacky, clack, clack. I'll use a little bit of orange in there. There we go. Once again, like I say, I'll bronze it. That's nowhere near enough I need for the, I'll just make more of it. Okay. I'll make a nice little pile of it here. And just keep mixing it until I get what I want. Pop some more green or some more blue in there. It's going to turn greenish again, which is fine. Once again, I just want to block the spear, and I'm using a touch of water just to loosen up the paint, and then we're going to go right from there. And as I said, I'm just blocking in this thing. Okay, we're going to go right into it. Yes, you guys should be able to see it. Paint right through, right across the tape. I'll come down. It's easier for me to come from the bottom and go up. And I am pressing pretty good, but I'm watching that edge. Edge is the most important part, not all of this. That edge. Get the edge down. Once again, I'm just blocking all of this. Not too much water because I really want this thing to be to dry quickly. Okay. I don't do too many portraits because I'm not asked to do them. Every once in a great while, someone asks me to do a portrait. Unfortunately, it would be for someone that's passed on. And depending on who it is, subject matter and whatnot, maybe I'll do it live, maybe I won't. Usually I don't, okay, because of the time it takes, the time involved in it. And let's talk about portraits. There's many ways and styles you can do portraits. You can do them in the most realistic style you can, or you can make like a caricature of it. Okay, if you want to go that way. Now, as you see, I'm blocking in the little details. It's okay because I see where they are, and I just by the bulges of the material he's got wrapped around the spear, I see where things are placed. I can leave little cheat marks like I just did. That line right there. All right. I got a feeling I'm gonna need some more. And that's okay. I know the colors I used to mix it. So I can once again leave little cheat marks here. It's all right. And in this stage, you can do a lot of correcting if you feel you must. All right. Sometimes these things tend to grow on you, meaning that you may go a little bit outside the edge, which is okay. It's all right. As long as it doesn't get too crazy, you can pretty much get away with it. Yep, I'm scooping up the last bit of whatever color I got here. I'll do the larger one here because I want enough to at least cover the thickest part of the spear here. This is going to the handle. It's the beginning of the handle here. And once again, I'm just blocking it in. And all of this will give me a guide to do this skull. All right. No matter the shape of the head, all skulls are pretty much the same. Okay. Everybody got different head shapes. Okay. Thin, medium, or fat. Everybody's got a different head shape, but it's still the same template. It's just how much flesh you got around that template. Okay, so you have to think of things like that in that way. All right. Okay, so I've done the spear. Hey, how you doing? I wasn't talking about your head, Bree. I'm talking about Namor's head. And you're talking about waterfall. It's overcast and raining out here, but it's 52 degrees. It's December and 52 degrees. Help me figure that out. 52 degrees, December. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So let's go on with this. All right. Blocked in the spear. Cool. I'm going to block in the subjects. I'm going to place the subjects. And then what we'll do is we'll work on the spear. So I don't have to really concern myself and worry myself about the spear. It will be done. That's into that. But all right. So we have the spear placed. Okay. Now, here's the part where things could go south quickly. Okay. Because I'm working in paint. I don't have nothing to erase. All right. But it's okay. I'm going to show you guys about how to do a portrait. Okay. Because right now it will be all about his proportions and painting the head. Now, because I'm going to paint a superhero, he's based off of a real human being, i.e., an actor. All right. So you basically you're doing a real life portrait. Um, so the proportions are still human. He's still a human being. All right. Um, and we're gonna do it like we just do your grandparents or something like that. We're gonna approach it in that way. Okay. All right. Should I get some rubbing alcohol and take some of that mess out of there? I should, but something tells me I won't. So, but while I'm talking to you, I'm gonna get another piece of tape. Once again, I hate hearing that little clunky sound because it just bugs me, irritates me. And I'm pretty sure some of you are probably fickle like this too. So we'll press it down there like that. Okay, good. That solves that. All right. So let's work with this guy's head. I'm gonna take a script liner. Let's get some white. We'll put it right here. Get some water. We'll sketch them in more or less. Now what I'm going to do is start small. That way I can go larger. And once I start adding other things to it, it will somewhat still be in proportion. Now I'm going to look at this spear and judge where things are on him. All right, so I can somewhat get this correctly. Now you see him down here. Okay. You see where his shoulder ends. It's near the bottom edge of the handle, as a matter of fact. So I'll just do a little sketch right there. All right. That's where his shoulder is there. Now, his opposite shoulder. I'm looking at where it just drops out of the frame of the photograph. So his other shoulder rounded, it will be right around in here somewhere. I'll just put it this way. Now, it may be correct, it may not be, but I'm getting as close as I can to it. Now, that's just the bend in his shoulder. Okay, you see where his collarbone is. That's the bend of his shoulder. So his collarbone's around there somewhere. Okay. All right. Now this guy, as you can see, he got a whole bunch of crap on his neck. Never mind the crap. We're gonna still sketch out more or less where he would be. Now, since I'm sketching in the shoulder, I gotta match it to where his collarbone is. Okay. So I gotta see to where his collarbone is. I believe his head is going to be around here somewhere. And then we're going to get a slope to where it will be his neck, which should be around there somewhere. Okay. And somewhere around in here. All right. Now that's where his shoulders are going to be. You follow me? Now remember, I'm not thinking superhero proportions. I have to think in the proportions of a human being. Okay. Now, if I would have started off with the skulls first, it would have been grossly out of proportion. Now I got somewhere to scale everything. You got me? Now, because his neck is covered with all the jewelry, okay, so it's in proportion, but you just see all the crap he got around his neck and shoulders. Okay, you have to look past that and look at the actual proportions of this fella's neck. All right, so as I'm looking at it, and I'll slope it right in here like that. He's looking, obviously, well, you guys would see it if I'm looking at the board, but he's looking obviously from that painting, he's looking to the right. Okay, he's actually looking left, but as we see it from the camera, he's looking to the right. All right. Okay. So his Adam's apple or whatnot would be around in here. I'll probably have it come out a little bit more. Around in here, and it goes downward like this. Because I'm gonna just accentuate what I'm talking about. His neck would be in that area. There goes the Adam's apple would be here. It comes in around. Remember, keep in mind, all of this is covered by necklace. Okay, the necklace, where his Adam apple is here, I'll sketch it real fast. Once again, all of this helps you in proportion. All right, because right on the top of his Adam's apple is where his chin line, his jawline would be. So slightly below that, right in here, draw it like a tube. His start of his necklaces will be there. That's the top. Okay. Remember the jawline now. Here. You see where the spear is here? This little angle. This angle is especially the top. It's near the bottom of where his ear would be. Okay. How are we gonna approach that? Now the bottom of he's got this necklace, this big earring thing going. We'll just put a mark on X right there. Okay, for right now. That's my little guide. And if I take it lightly, very lightly, and sketch where his chin would be. You had to do the chin in relation to where his shoulder is. Like that. All right, now I put it in extremely light. You guys might not even see it. You see it very barely. Okay, that's where his chin would be. All right. He's looking slightly downward, and it's not even, it's almost very close to a 3/4 view, not quite. Okay. So that would be his jawline and his beard and such, right about there. Okay. So as I'm looking at it and I'm doing it, it will be essentially right there. Now, he has a very unique head. His head isn't like the shape of a quote-unquote regular normal head. He's got a circle head. All right. His hair is wet, so it's matted close to his skull. And if you see, he doesn't have really a big old protuberance of head back there like normal people. It's pretty much skull shaped, really, especially with his hair matted like that. But then again, hey Pittsburgh, how are you? How you doing? Yeah, you're at 58 degrees, man. You're warmer than we are. And it's crazy. It's just weird. It's crazy. Okay. So, let me try to get this in proportion because I'm hoping that I did this correctly as I'm looking at it. Because if not, I'm gonna have to do some major adjustments. In relation to the spear itself, his weird looking bowed head would be somewhere up here, but that's not right. As I'm looking at it, because this here should be shorter. Okay, so I will adjust to that. So I will put the mid peak of his head. Well, here, let's do it this way. Since this is going to be his chin, I'll go like this. Now this is where, like I said, I will do it really lightly. I see where his part of his eyebrow is here. It bowls out a little bit. I'm going to keep doing this very lightly. Okay. And then I will somehow imagine where his skull would be. Now remember, I'm used to doing stuff like this. Comes out. Flattens. slowly comes back in. Now I see where I'm at and what I'm doing. Once again, I will paint it a little smaller till I know that I've somewhat got it okay. And I'll keep doing it till I know that I've somewhat got it right. So I'll keep looking at it, keep staring at it. Get a little bit of water. Once again, I'm basing everything off proportions to where it is on the shaft of this, the spear here. And remember, his head is mostly matted, his hair is matted down, so you will see more of this guy's skull, his forehead here. It slopes out, comes in, because his nose, well, I'll show you as we continue on. Okay. The bridge of his nose is actually here, and it comes out. And there's a ball here. I'll put the ball right there, and there's a smaller ball right there where his nostril passage is, nasal passage. He has a mustache, so keep that in mind. Okay, I'll put it right about here. His lips, I'll put that there, put that there. Then I'll bring out his chin and then bring it up. His lips are placed differently. None of this is going to matter in a second because it will be colored in gray, which is fine. Okay. So once again, I'm just measuring where his proportions are. You're not going to see his eye. You'll see his eyebrows here. And then the other eyebrow is this way. And it comes in like that. Okay. All right. So as I'm doing this and I'm looking at it, I can adjust his jawbone. I'm doing all of this just to make sure everything's cool. The bottom of his ear is right here. I'll show you this after I block him in. Okay. And so I'm gonna have to bring his ear lower. His earlobe is down here. Let me block him in and then we'll work it that way. His neck will be thicker, but it won't matter. Like so. Like that, like that. All right. Put his head right there. Okay, now I'm gonna block all of that in, and then we're gonna work right from there with this fella. Once again, I have to do it in paint, get his proportions kind of correct, and once again we're going from there. All right. Now I'm still looking at this. I'm still concentrating on this because once again, because of the bridge of his nose there, his lips are at a weird angle. But we're gonna fix all of that. But I got in general where his face is. Now our painting here, because I'm trying to put it to where, I mean, it's okay where we're at. It's not a flat, straight on view. The snow isn't bad. I like the snow. I just don't like the temperatures that come with it at times, but it really doesn't bother me too much. As long as it isn't like 11 degrees below zero and all that nonsense and the wind blowing, that's crazy. So I'm gonna sketch all this. I'm gonna block it all in, okay? And I'll probably more than likely block it in gray, and then we'll work right from that, and then we'll concentrate on the spear. Okay, so let's mix up. We'll use a thicker brush, and we're gonna mix some gray up here. All right, now you guys know I usually, if I don't use the obvious black and white, I usually would use a mixture of different colors to make our gray. The blue and orange won't make an acceptable gray. It's gonna turn kind of green unless I add a lot of white to it. But why not? We'll go for it anyway and see what happens. And these are supposed to be opposites here. So as you can see, it turns green. Of course it will. See that? See how green it gets? But then again, it depends on the type of blue you're using too. But as you see, the blue and the orange together turn a little bit on the green. So usually we use more orange than blue, but we can work this out too. So don't worry. Hashtag don't panic. Okay. Hashtag don't panic. Add white in there. Now we add more orange. Ugh. Now the more orange you add to this, it's going to start to turn grayer and grayer and grayer. You will use more orange than the blue. So if I keep adding orange in this, okay, it's going to start to turn this kind of warm gray. It's starting to do that now. And it's a very accepting color. Okay. Now you see the color is turning, right? And this is where you would add more white. It's just going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. It's going to be this weird kind of gray thing going on with it. You just keep adding white. Now my brush is getting smeared with this size brush. It's getting smeared with paint, but that's okay. And I'm gonna block them in using this color. And all we're doing is blocking the color. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna try to work out this fella's proportions here. We'll work the shoulder in there, just like that. Human proportions, so he's not really as super. He's not an exaggerated character like the Hulk or anything like that. That he's not. Okay. All right. And then we'll just block all that in. Block it right in. And once I block this guy in, we'll work on this on the details of the spear. And this is how you approach it. You take it a piece at a time. Okay. I'll block him right in there. His skin color is not really too far off from what you're looking at. Oops, my bad, my bad, my bad. Keep it nice and sharp. Okay. Cover all that. Let's scoop up some more love here. All right. My friend comes back from her doctor appointment and she shuts her door right when the alarm goes off. And I'm like, well, my alarm never went off before. Come to find out it's the guy across the driveway. It's his alarm doing that. Get that little ball thing going. Put where his lips will be, his chin, and then going that way. His hair, let's do this. Let's try this shape first before I do anything else. Let's try this head shape first. I'm going a little smaller. Just like that. And then I'll check it out once I block it in. See, I can go smaller and then go larger. You can't go larger and try to go smaller. Don't do that. I say I'll block him in. As you see, it's a nice little head profile there for him. Now you guys see that obscured view is a little angled. All right, so it might look a little distorted to you because of the camera angle. I can adjust for that. But I'll probably adjust for that once I'm not live and straighten it up. So you guys can get a nice head on shot of him. But all right, much like that. So I'm gonna have to pull that camera out a little bit more and then turn it, and you guys should have a straight on view of what he looks like. Now I got enough of this on, no glycerin, just water and just the paint, because I want it to dry faster. And if you can see, it's really, if you look at him and then you look at this, also, let me tell you about this too, because of the way the camera, you know how everything's bunched in, so the camera's a little elongated. So his head is a little up, a little stretched. All right, but once again, I'm looking at the actual photo here. All right, now because his hair is matted to his skull, okay, we're doing all right. We're doing pretty good. I got it kind of close here between his relationship of his spear and his head, but that is okay. We're good with that. That's fine. That really won't matter. All right, won't matter much at all. You'd be doing a little creative license thing, but that's all right. And people, believe it or not, really won't notice. Artists will, normal folk will not. They won't know. Okay, so we've got him all blocked out. Hello, Maria. We've already got it blocked out. All right. And I'll leave it be. We'll work with the spear. I wish I could bring it in closer. I cannot, because it would just look kind of crazy, and we're looking at it vertical. Okay. All right. So we'll work with the details of the spear. The spear it's dark. It's got symbols on the spear. You're not gonna really see too much of it, but we're gonna make it look like more than what it is. It's just doing obscure shapes, and then we'll take the highlights and we'll make designs out of those obscure shapes. So now we're talking about what I did with florals. It's adding little hues and tones to an object. Then you put the highlights in the shape that, and your eyes will follow the rest. It's an optical illusion that artists do all the time. Some of them are very cognitive to it. Some really cannot explain it, but that's actually what we're gonna do. That's what it's gonna be. Okay. Okie dokie then. Let's get a little bit of, and let's go. We're gonna go right into this other messy color, and we're gonna mix it right in there with this blue. Let's take a little bit of its opposite, a little brown, which turns it green. Now, because it turns green, we're gonna slap another color in there. I'm gonna bring my orange back too. We're gonna put red in there. Why am I putting red in there? Red is the opposite color of green. And if you're not careful, you can go too dark and it will turn black. So be careful. Let's return our orange. Once again, if I'm not done, obviously I won't be. I'll just spray this tray, put some plastic over it, and it'll be okay. Let's get some more orange. Pop the orange in there. Now, if you put red in this, it's definitely going to darken it and deepen it red up. And I'm going to just keep doing it just to show you. See what happens? See that? It's getting kind of brownish. Okay, I'm going to get some more red because I'm going to add blue to it. We're just going to turn it violet-ish. The red and blue would turn violet, but it's got these other colors mixed in with it. Okay, look at that. See how dark it's gotten now? My problem is I don't make enough of it. So we're really gonna pile it on there. Pile on some of that blue. Pile on some of that red. Okay, look at that. Okay, all right, that's definitely dark enough. So let's get to getting. We'll put a little water in there and we'll loosen it up just a small bit. Okay. How's your mother doing, Maria? All right. We're going to start doing different hues and things, but right now what I see is an outline on the from the outside of the blade here. It's a flat color. And so we're going to just do that right now. You take a spear that has so much detail, you work from the simplest to the more complicated. Okay, and all you gotta do really just study it, just look right at it. And from what I'm looking at now, you guys should be able to see it because of the reflections coming off of it. So I'm painting right from the edge of where the spear is. And as you can see, hopefully, it looks close to black. It's not, but it's very, very dark. And I'm going to get the same width here. Very, very important you stick close to that edge. Okay. All right. And then you work your way inward. Paint right above the tape. Keep the flow of the thing going. All right. That is that's pretty cool. That'd be all right there. I don't want to waste all of this, so I'll play around. Because there's little glowy things in the inside of this, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just use this paint just like this, and I'm gonna just fill it in all up in here. Just like that. I'll get it close. Like that. I'm looking at where I can add some more of this dark. I can add it right here, and it's just shadow now, and it gets the paint off the brush right up around in this area right here. So I'm still looking at things. He's got a little bit of dark right here, and it goes straight down just like that. Got a little bit of something right here. Okay. That's kind of green there. It gets dark in here. And this one. And then he's got little designs and everything, but we'll start it right here. Just like that, and we'll go down, straight down. Once again, it gets rid of most of the stuff off the brush, just like that. We'll leave it just like that. Okay. Clean off your brush really well. Let's move these brushes. I got a tray down here where I have all of my ink pens and such, and I put my brushes in there, and I shouldn't. So I'm gonna place my brushes right here where I can easily get to them. All right, let's take a little bit of titanium white. Oh, we'll put it right here in this corner. We'll take some of this dark and we'll put it right in there in the white, just like that. All right. Now, we're going to take some more white, pop it in there, make it a little bit brighter. Let's get some more white, make it brighter still. Just like that. And we're going to mess with little details. We're going to do little tricky type of things here, just to make it pass for whatever intricate detail that's on this spear. Now, remember I said there's little glowy things on this spear, okay? And so I'll make a dot like this, elongate it. Let's make the dot a little more visible. And this is really open to your interpretation of how you want to do this. Another dot here, and a little shape. You can skip and put some more here, put a couple more dots there. Make a little design here. All right, but you see how it's starting to look here? He's got some Mesoamerican things happening here with this, and go along the shape. A couple of dots there like that. I'm gonna curve in, come out, curve in like that. Make a couple of dots going that way. Come out here. And a couple of smaller dots. And we'll get a nice little broken line up there like that. Just like that. Okay. And it makes it look like it's got a bunch of little detailed things happening with it. All right. You're not even really trying that hard. Let's go back into our darker color. Put it in with the white. Because you're going to do designs now in the inside, but it's a little deeper in color. Still brighter than its background. Okay. And we're going to start doing little cursive-y things. It needs to be darker. So I'll just get some more. Put it in here in the white mix. When you mix it in with titanium white, it's never going to be dark as the original. It might look it, but it's not. Here we go back, right up. Okay, that's better. Stuff like that. And we're just going to do little symbols and little detaily dotty little things like this. Okay. Just like that. He's got a little bit of that brightness there, so we'll just come this way. We'll make a rectangular whatever. Come here, and a little dot there, we'll come here. It's going to look so complicated, and all we're doing is making squiggles, really. So essentially, this is just called controlled chaos. Just make little symbols, and if you don't know what to do, always slap a dot in there. All right. Because if you're trying to get as intricate as that sword, you'll be here all day. Don't do that to yourself. Okay. Once again, once I'm finished, it will look a whole lot complicated than it really is. Hello, Linda. How come you retracted? I haven't caught it now. How's things going, Pittsburgh? Okay. Maria didn't answer about her mom yet, so she's playing silent. It's all right. Now there's some dark patches. I'm gonna leave them dark. Come on in here. I'll come here. Put a white one here. Come on like that, and then we'll get another symbol going. Just like so. There are some dark spots in his spear. Now the picture, the photo. Oh, I dipped into the wrong one. My bad. Thought that was a little too dark. The picture got some little spaces of dark there, and I'll honor that. Then we got something here. And then I'll just do some elongated things just like this. Now, when you paint a subject that got a lot of detail and things going on with it, just be mindful of if there's certain spaces or whatever, then you draw negative spaces and whatnot, stuff like that. Okay. All right. Now I will go towards this little hook thing. It's made out of the same material, so what I'll do is I'll play around here in the dark stuff here. All right. And I'll just block in everything here because the highlights on this is not as much, but we can do something here with it. what I'm going to do is paint the 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 negative edges here. All right. So we'll just block in the color. I'm using the script liner. I'm using nothing but the thick paint. Okay. I have plenty of paint to do it. It's just I'm painting with a very thin, obviously a very thin brush. All right. And there. I'm gonna leave a little space for the other, when I do the other part of the spear. Okay, so we got it all masked in fairly dark. We're gonna go back into our titanium white with the paint still on the brush, and we're gonna lighten it up a little bit. And I think I'm gonna take a little touch of brown and put it in there too. All right. Let's get some brown in there. Now this is just me personally adding all of this in here. I'll put a little bit of yellow ochre in that too. I just want to kind of get it brownsy a little bit, just like this. Okay, I'll get some water, just a little touch of water because it's pretty thick paint. The subject I'm drawing for the newer people that came in, this guy's name is Prince Namor, the Submariner. He is a superhero. He's in the Black Panther Wakandan movie there. Okay. Put a nice little dot here on the edge. I'm looking, and we're gonna elongate that part. It doesn't have really much going on the end, so we'll just keep it like that. All right, and we're gonna come right here on this outside edge here and come down at the angle, deep angle, boom, like that. Then we're gonna go a little long, and we're gonna go a little longer. It's only part, we're only looking at half of the sword, or yeah, half of the spear. All right, so keep in mind how much of it is actually being seen. Okay, he has this little circle symbol here. So what I'm going to do is to put an oval in here, like this, just like that. Put a little oval, just like so. All right, and we're going to elongate this one a little bit. All right, just like that. We'll keep it like that. Okay, there's elongated little designing stripe things right here. There's two of them. So I'll come here, come out. I'm moving my whole arm around. So there's one there, and there's one that's following the shape of the outside shaft like that. All right, I'll round it off. You may not really have to, but I'll round it off. All right, now that I've done that, I'm going to take a little tiny bit of white while the paint is still wet. I'm going to come here and add a little shine right in this part. There's a little bit of a highlight glint right there. Not too much elsewhere other than that. Then I'll come here and I'll paint underneath that. I'll paint a little bit of glow right in here. And that's really about it for that. All right, you guys came back. How much? Explain what just happened. My webcaster is hooked up Ethernet. My computer is not. It's Wi-Fi. And on a stormy day, you know what happens. All right, you can't draw people worth a hoot. Oh, that's what I'm explaining. But right now, I did explain it a bit. I don't know how far you were in here. But as we go on, especially when we go on to actually painting this guy, yeah, it's dry. Then I'll explain it more and more. We're gonna go into this brownish, weird, funky color here. I should use a thicker brush. I don't want to use this. Just use a flat brush. Because right now we're just gonna concentrate really on the spear. And depending on how much time, because I don't want to make this video excessively long, we'll come here with this And we'll add a little brown in there. Just mix it right in there with that greenish stuff. Okay. I'm gonna go into my titanium white and my yellow. Just like that. We'll bronze it up a little bit. Okay. This is good. You're gonna see that photo. For those of you who come in and wonder why that photo's doing all of that, is because I have it on a setting for a lot of pictures. You know how they scroll through and they do those funky little transitions. That's what I got it on, but it's just one picture. Oh, here we go. Linda, anybody new that came in, I was not talking about Bree's fat head. I wasn't. All right. I just want to let that be known. Okay. All right. We'll take the little bronzy color. Nope, I did not mention her fat head at all. Not me. Oh no, you're not trapping me off. We're going to come here, this little bronzy color here. Okay. And we're going to feather into that dark. I'll press and I'll just feather in. And as I'm feathering in a circular direction, or oval, however you want to call it. And I can go over that white that I had. Like so. All right. Now, as you look at it from far away, it'll look like it's kind of fading through. We got some more of this bronze here, and I'm gonna feather it just a little bit because we got some of that dark paint there. So I'll create a little mini shadow, and then we got another one right here, and it will also be feathered very lightly. Just fade it out there. Nice little trail going, just like so. Okay. Underneath here, it's not bronze, it's green. Okay. All right. So we're going to take some green. Yep, we're popping the green right in with that brown. Okay. It's all right. I'm popping it right in there anyway. Mix it right in there. Yeah, mix it in there. Okay. There. And we're going to come over here with this funky green. And we're going to pop it right in there, just like that. Okay. It's dark under here, and it's more green in here. So I'll continue it on, but I'll fade it. Okay. Actually, we'll do the fade. I'll just fade it in right from here. All right. I'll use my finger. I'll wipe off some of it. And I'm just doing the fade right now. All right. We got some more green red in here. I'll just use my finger and we'll fade that in. Past that, let's see what we got going here. Past that is just a solid green. Right down in here. Pat it right in there. It's dark over here. We'll just fade that out real quick. Okay, just like so. Once again, you start broad. You start broad and you bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Okay, essentially that's what I'm doing here. Okay, let's take some titanium white. I'm gonna put it right in that green. Get some more. Okay. A lot of portrait artists do this. They'll just mix their paint right on top of the other mixes, which isn't bad. It kind of keeps color harmony there in a very odd sort of way. We're going to come here. And he's got little symbols here. We're not going to do all those symbols. We'll just kind of make pretend they're symbols. Just like that. So he's got weird little designs, Aztecian things going on, but we'll just do decorative little paint splotches like that. And he's got weird things happening there. We'll just kind of put something there to shell that shadow. That's it, really. Just like that. He does have a little light two little circular, little shiny things right here. All right, just like so. All right, okay. I'm gonna take a little strip of dark blue, and underneath this, right in there, that accentuates the shine in the bottom part. It just shows off that it's kind of circular looking and all of that. That's like that. All right. That's it for that. Let's make those two little dots a little bit brighter. We'll just take a little bit of titanium white and we'll just add a little brightness to that dot there, like that and like that. Just like so. All right. Okay. So as you guys see, there's this spear. Okay. Hello, trusted crafter. How are you? Good to see you. So let me get the trusted crafter all caught up. We're gonna paint that guy down there. I'm gonna explain how to do the human face. Even though it's a superhero, a human being is still portraying him, so he's got human being proportions. All right. What else? I'm doing this because it's a little break away from doing florals and mountains and streams and rocks. Okay. And plus I wanted to explain how to do portraits of actual human faces and how to break it down in case anybody wants to try it. All right. This particular character, as you can see, has a lot of jewelry on, but we're looking past the jewelry, okay, and looking at the actual physical proportions of Namor's face. Okay. And what else? Yeah. You see that if you know anything about superheroes and Prince Namor, he's an underwater king of Atlantis. But in the movie, they changed Atlantis' name to something else. We know that whole whatever. Look earlier in this video. Anyway, his wet hair obviously is matted close to his head, so his head has more or less a skull shape to it. Okay, if you look at the photo, okay, this would be a skull, so his hair is plaited just maybe, I don't know, a quarter inch or half inch past this, but it hugs all of his scalp there. All right. What else? He, like I say, he has excessive jewelry on. He has a freaking bone in his nose, and he's got this conch shell pasted to his ear. His Mr. Spock pointed ears. I want you guys to look at something. I wanted to explain this to you. Now, obviously, those of you who are very familiar with Star Trek know who Mr. Spock is. Okay. And we all know that this character has Mr. Spock ears, but look at this character's ears. You see how the point of his ear is further back on his head? Mr. Spock's ears were never that far back. They were pretty much, the point of his ears was pretty much like a Batman mask. They were pointed straight up, okay, to the side of his head. All right, now you look at his ears. You see they're pointed, but they're swaying backwards. Why is that? I'm gonna tell you why. Our earlobe, top part, matches with the top part of our eyebrow. We're symmetrical creatures, all right? So look at his ears and look at his eyebrows. Do you see that the tip of his ear and his eyebrows are the same plane? Do you notice that? You gotta pay attention to the eye to detail. Now, the people who designed this ear for his makeup had that in mind. This is how deep they go into making these characters and putting them on film, okay? And you gotta remember, Star Trek was almost, 50 years ago? Okay, and even though they made motion pictures and everything, his ears, in actuality, got even bigger, but they were still pointing straight up in the air toward the ceiling, okay? Here's his little further back, all right? You don't believe me, go check it out. You'll see for yourself. You'll see for yourself. Well, thank you, trusted cultivator. So did I call you the trusted crafter? Cultivator, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm known for that. But yeah, okay. I talked about doing the spear, and I end up completing the spear. All right, we're at 1 hour and 16 minutes. So I guess I can talk about proportions in this guy's face. All right. Let me see something real quick. Let's zoom in on his head. I can explain this. Yeah, I know you're shifting, buddy. I know it's weird. It's hard for you. Let's do it again. We'll put the pencil here. The camera is not the human eye. There we go. It stopped. Yep. Okay. Why does the camera do this? Well, it's trying to decipher gray against gray. All right. Even though it's still gray. And so the camera is trying to focus in on primarily the same hue. Okay. And so it's trying to pinpoint. That's why I put the pencil here and then press the button, because now it has something for its little electronic eye to focus on, and then it will adjust. That's why. If I didn't do that, it would just keep doing it, or assume that it's doing it as close as possible, then stop and it'll still be blurry. I had to learn that the hard way a few times. Okay. All right. So we're close by his head. It's a pretty darn good shot. Okay. Let's see if white will show more. And I explain this to you. Nope, white will not show. All right. Black it is. Okay. Look at his face, if you can. As a matter of fact, let's do something. While I'm showing you this, I might as well do the teacher thing. Okay, bear with me. You're going to see a color shift. You can see my big face first. Then you're going to see his face. Boom. Okay. So, let's take a look at... Yeah, you guys can see that screen do that. Okay, look at his face. It's a profile view, but it's almost a 3/4 view. Okay, you can see the hair on the extreme right side. You can see his eyebrow. Then you see the bridge of his nose. Okay, so he's not exactly at a 3/4 view, but it's pretty darn close, which means the rest of his features are kind of altered just a wee bit, especially his lips. Okay, you guys really won't see it too well, but the middle part of his lip, where it curves, is just barely hinted at and seen. Okay, so it's kind of a weird angle, but I liked it a lot. It was really cool. All right, like I say, you guys are looking at the full version. I have an extremely cropped version to where the bottom of his beads, the first set of beads, I only see half of those beads. Okay, on the bottom, I don't see the full circular beads, and the little bone things he got below the beads, I don't see at all. It is cropped quite a bit. Okay, so, and his shoulders, as you can see, aren't really that broad. They got his look right, and they didn't have the rest of his body looking right. But I guess that's it is what it is. He does look like the guy though. Okay. Other than the fact that he is Mexican. They made Namor Caucasian. They made him for the movie Mesoamerican, so he's Aztec or something like that. All right. So look once again at his ears and look at his eyebrow line. They're the same height. And you look at the tip of his ears and you look at his eyebrows, they're the same height. You have to keep all of this in mind in doing a portrait. All right. You also have to keep in mind his mustache in relation to his lips and his nose. Okay. And I see right now I might have to alter a few things, maybe. It looks like it, but we'll see. All right. His eyes. That's another subject in itself, is the eyes. You can see that his eyes have that. Oh, Diana's going to be on in about 15 minutes. His eyes have that. If you guys want to, you because it depends on how far I go with this, you guys can pop over there to see Artfully Yours. Serenity Art, I think she calls herself now. And she's probably going to paint in her studio and trip over a chair doing a happy dance or something like that. I usually go over there and watch and stir the pot and talk a lot of junk, you know. Okay. But she's over there. Well, she'll be live in about 13 minutes now. It's a little after 3 o'clock. Okay, on Eastern Standard Time. So, in doing this, okay, if you guys can see this, we know we have a center line, right? You would, if you're doing a human figure, you're gonna put a center line. Now, this guy's center line, if I do the bridge of his nose, which is like right here, okay, it kind of curves like that, and then it comes inward. That's his brow, the muscles of his eyebrow, and it comes up. And check this, watch this. See, it doesn't. You see how that is? If you guys can see that, it might be too small. Let me switch the camera, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. Oh, you're looking at it blink, then you're looking at. Okay, yeah, you guys see the black line. All right. That center line is curved in way before the middle, okay, because he's partially turned. All right, as a matter of fact, it's even at a stronger angle this way, and it's like that, okay, like so. All right, so it's not really that one. All right, okay. Now, I guess for whatever, I'll just erase it like this. I'll just take that and just make it disappear, just like so you guys can see it. There you go. All right. So now that we've established that, okay, and right where this peak is, okay, as I'm looking at his head, where his eyebrows are right here, just below that peak. So, because the bridge of his nose is here, all right, his eyebrows obviously go a little bit past his eyes. The curvature of his eyebrows here, it comes around like that, and then it kind of ends right there, if you guys can see that. All right, because he ain't too happy, so he's got kind of a furrow there. All right, yeah, he's not looking too joyous right now. His eyes. Now, the placement of the eye itself. The eye, I should zoom in now. I'm going to end up, covering all of this up. You guys know that, right? So I'll be drawing this twice. But his eyes, in relation to where is bridge of his nose, inside here is dark, because, your nose go, around. It's the bone that protrudes from the middle of the two eye sockets. Okay. In that gap right in here is where his eyes would be. All right. And his eyes would come downward, round, and end somewhere around in there. All right. The inside of the eye, it's like a little dip, and it comes around like this. Okay. Once again, this guy is not looking too happy. And in that area, you got the eyelid, which is around in here. Okay. And you're not going to see really too much of his eyes, but his eyes are right here at an elongated kind of a stare, like that. Once again, he's not the happiest guy in the world. He's quite pissed off. I kind of know the plot of the movie, so I can understand why he's a wee bit upset. There's a little age. He got a little line where the socket is right in there. Okay, once again, I've been doing this for a while, so I kind of know where things are and where they go. Anyway, that's the curve of it, and it's just represented by a line. That's the curve of his eyebrow, where his eyes are usually placed. Okay, and since he's kind of looking downward, he's got that ball on his nose right here. All right, where are you gonna place that other ball? You're gonna place that other ball right up around in here. All right, where his nasal, it would touch, his nasal passage would be right up in there. Okay, and there's a little teardrop shape right up in there where it would be dark, right up in that area, like that. A lot of this would be just be shading. All right, a lot of it definitely would be it'd be a lot of shading there. Okay, his cheekbone, you can see it by the light. Okay, obviously his cheekbone would be in here. Okay, like that. Now, while I'm doing all this, let's put a line going across. Actually, just let's make the line curve. That's a little better. Come over here, like that. Follow the eye line in the shape of his head. Okay. The middle, it would be here. If you guys can see it, I'm painting this dark on purpose because I'm showing you guys how this would go. So you guys see that. Now, does that make a little more sense? Okay. See where that eyebrow line is? Okay. His ear, that tip of his ear is right there. You found me. And where his eye is, okay, is where that curve of his ear would be. And it curves around right to that point right there. It comes around. Now, obviously, you don't see it because of that freaking, whatever the hell that thing is he got on his ear. But anyway, his ear would be right about there, looking like that. All right. It's strange to try to show you guys this because you're looking at the fullness of that portrait face, the actor's face. But you got to see beyond that and see just where the lines would be in relation to that eyebrow line, top of the ear. Okay, the space between the back of his head and his ear. Okay, so technically, as I'm looking at it, it should be even closer than that. I just didn't do it. I can later on, but that's general where it would be. Okay. Another thing also is the corner of your lips. This is also quite humorous too. If you look at, let me show you this. Now this might bore a few people, but I'm really trying to show you guys how to approach this. Let's look at my face. Okay, not like it's the best example in the world, but okay. Let's take these off for a second. All right, if you see my mouth, look at the edges of my mouth and look at the middle of my eyes. You see that? You see how the ends of your mouth meet with the middle of your eyes, your eyeballs? Okay. Now, as you turn, and whatever look you got on your face is essentially still the same. Your middle, your mouth and the middle of your eyes, where they would naturally meet. All right. If you look there, you can see it your own self. The middle of his eyes and the edge of his mouth. Okay. So try to keep these simple little rule things in its order, and it makes life a lot easier for you. Okay. Oh, Tam's art. Hello. 6:30 in the morning. Good Lord. Oh, Tam's art. I sent you an email. Okay. Okay. Now, knowing that I'm drawing all through this because I know I'm covering it up. Right here. Right. I'm purposely drawing down like this just to show you guys. Okay. Now his lips, once again, is at this weird kind of angle thing going on with it. All right, but I'll curve it up, and boy, he's frowning. He is not happy, this dude. Right here, that's about as much lip as you need. All right, because that's where it is. The top part of his lip would be, it's covered by mustache, but it's right here, and it comes downward at a gentle slope this way. You really have to look. The bottom part of his lip is the same deal. All right, you have to understand this is not a cartoon. This is an actual living, breathing human being we got certain proportions in the way our face is made. All right, you have to think of a circle, okay, even at the side. So we're round all over the place, even though we have an eggy shaped head. It's still a sphere, circle. All right, you still got volume. Okay, so think of it in that way. Normally, our eyes and the tip of our ears, the eyebrow line and the tip of our ears are the same level. All right. Depending on the human being, usually our earlobe and the bottom of our nose usually meet. Okay, and that's probably what's messing me up with his great big diamond earrings, that his ears are probably much lower. They're probably down here. Okay, but the earring is throwing me off. All right, so it would be really about down there. Okay, but like I say, he's got these big square dinner plates on his ears, so it throw you off a little bit. Okay, all right. Yep, she's on now. So if you guys want to go over there and see Diana, tell her hello. I'll be over there to poke fun in a minute or two. All right, but anyway, keep your proportions pretty much. Keep your proportions kind of as straight as you possibly can. Okay. Your nostrils, all depending on who you are as a person, your nostrils would be in pretty, I don't know, maybe halfway between your eye socket, the start of your eyes itself, and where your eyeball is. They're not as far out, obviously, as your mouth. Okay. But keep all that in mind. But we'll get into that if I ever do a straight view of a person. A straight on view is not really. I like 3/4 views or any kind of weird abstract looking view, looking up, looking down, whatever. But I like this because it's almost trying to be a 3/4 view, but it's not. All right, so it's pretty good. Pretty good representation of Thank you very much. Don't let the beard fool you. Okay. He has, well, for one, he got high cheekbones. All right. His ear, his jawline is right there. Okay. His jawline sets pretty low, like that. All right. So don't look at, if you look at the beard line, his beard line is coming there and it scoops upward. Don't do that. Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom where it is in relation. And remember, keep in mind that this guy has, you guys can't see this, he's got that necklace thing going right from his chin. And that's the top of it. You're not going to really see the bottom. His shoulder, just about to right here, is all covered in jewelry. Okay. So all of this area is covered in crap. Okay. Way up by his neck. Okay. And then he's got the triangle dinner plate for an earring. And remember, he got a bone in his nose. Okay. he's got a bone sticking out of his nose, and then his mustache. His mustache is coming right from underneath his nose to the corner of his mouth, like so. Okay, just like that. He's starting to slowly come together now. He's got that soul patch shit, and then he's got his beard, which looks like pretty much like that. He's got this weird. He's missing like hair right here. Maybe he got smacked in the jaw by his wife or a tail of a shark or something. All right, but much like that. Okay. So you see, he's slowly starting to come together, even at this stage. All right. Okay. Now that I just marked it well here, his hairline, it's got that little peak there going sharply in, which goes in to his beard. Okay. Where the crook of his eyebrow is, that's where the peak starts, right in there. Okay. So his hair is actually cut here like a buzz, and he's got more hair up on top. But once again, it's matted kind of close to his head, like that. And then he's got his little hairdo there. Okay. He's got, you see his little hairs and stuff going on there. But that's basically how you do the skull. I could keep going. I do feel like I could keep going, but I won't do that. We'll go and say hello to Serenity Studio. Let me see if I can actually share her link. Hold on. Let's see if it'll let me. Oh, it's really great. Well, no, I can't touch that. Let's do this. Oh, no. I want to that's not what I want to do. No, I don't want to send it to nobody. Let me see something. Can I copy this link? Yes, I can copy that link. Thank you. All right. I can do it that way. Yeah, I'll copy this link here. Come on back. No problem, Tim's Art. I appreciate you coming by. Okay, that's Diana's link. If you guys want to pop over there and say hey or tell her I sent you over, she's very, very entertaining. I'm going to be over there laughing and everything with you. Sometimes she has her guests come on panel and all of that good stuff. And she's on for a minute too. So she just started maybe 10 minutes ago. So if you guys want to buzz on over there, go on and buzz over there. All right. When we come back, I don't know if I'll come back later tonight when she's done or whatever. We'll continue this because I do have Prince Namor Part 1. So I have to take a photo of this and make a thumbnail of it and get this prepared for Namor Part 2. Like I said, either I'll be on later tonight or I'll be on tomorrow, depending on how I feel and whatever I got to do. All right, but we shall continue this on. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. And until next time.